Uzbekistan has launched an initiative to plan measures and actions in the field of climate adaptation. It aims at improving the climate resilience of the sectors of the economy most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change and improving existing mechanisms for ensuring sustainable development. The new project will be implemented with the support of the United Nations Development Programme through grant funding provided by the Green Climate Fund. To get the details on this matter, we have contacted Matilda Dimovsky, UNDP resident representative in Uzbekistan.
The global warming continues. The scientists are raising red flags. We all feel the consequences on a daily basis, and we all need to act now. The most recent Human Development Report produced by United Nations Development Programme argues that the humans have so dramatically altered the Earth that we are now exiting the Holocene epoch and we are entering into the Anthropocene era. In this era, for the first time, humans are shifting the planet more than the planet is shifting ourselves, which is proving to be destructive and unsustainable for both ourselves and our planet. But we have a choice. We have a choice to use the human development and the climate change adaptation so that we rebalance the systems, the natural and our social systems, and that the planet and ourselves thrive together. Unfortunately, mitigation activities proved not fully effective to alter the warming trends. So is the green technologies or green economic development. They have not yet been able to counter this negative trend. And therefore, adaptation to climate change is becoming critical. And that means projecting the trends and projecting how the situation will evolve, but also taking actions to prevent or to minimize the negative impact of climate change. In recent years, Uzbekistan has experienced significant impact of the climate change. Since 1950, Uzbekistan's annual average temperature has increased for about 0.27 Celsius degree per decade, twice the global average. And this has increased the frequency and the magnitude of heat waves, of record summer and record summer temperatures, but also reduced snow coverage. We see more droughts, more water stress, and we see much more salt storms in the Aral Sea region. So in response, United Nations Development Programme will be working very closely with the government of Uzbekistan on development of a national adaptation plan. The aim is to integrate the adaptation to climate change into the national and subnational planning and budgeting process in Uzbekistan. Development of a sector-driven adaptation plan to advance the medium and long-term adaptation will be supported by UNDP and together with the government. The National Adaptation Plan will focus on 5 sectors that are most vulnerable to climate change impact, and that is agriculture, to ensure food security, water, to avoid deficiency of irrigation and drinking water, health, to address the climate change-provoked diseases, housing, because of the greater need in cooling, air conditioning, and for increased use of electric and thermal energy, and finally, emergency management, because more frequent extreme weather events result in infrastructure damages and loss of lives. The NAP, the National Adaptation Plan, will target the regions of Karakalpakstan, Bukhara and Khorasan, the most impacted regions by the drying of the Aral Sea and whose sustainable development is most endangered and threatened by the climate change, so that their development gains are not lost. It is expected that the development and implementation of a national adaptation plan in Uzbekistan will bring 4 main benefits. To start with better national planning and budgeting process for reduced economic and social damages and green economy, enhanced access and use even of national and international finance for adaptation needs, better prospects of Uzbekistan to meet its international commitments to the Paris Agreement on climate, and finally, better position of Uzbekistan to meet its national sustainable development goals. United Nations Development Programme remains committed to work with the people and the government of Uzbekistan to adapt to and counter the impact of the climate change, thus for a better future for both the people and the planet. Rahmat.